Welcome to World of Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. In the year 1974, the United States was filled with energy, change, and progress. It was a time when the nation was rebuilding confidence and innovation was everywhere. But in the middle of that era, a small coin continued its quiet journey through history, the Roosevelt Dime. The 1974 Roosevelt Dime may seem ordinary, but behind its simple shine lies a fascinating story and the potential for surprising value that has captured the hearts of collectors for decades. The Roosevelt Dime was first introduced in 1946, to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a lasting legacy, and his image was chosen to appear on the 10-cent coin just 1 year after his passing. The design was created by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. On the obverse, it features the dignified profile of President Roosevelt, with the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," proudly displayed. Beneath the neck of Roosevelt, you can find the initials, JS, the artist's signature. The reverse of the coin is equally symbolic. It shows a torch in the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on one side for peace and an oak branch on the other for strength and independence. The motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, ties the design together beautifully. By 1974, the dime was no longer made of silver. That change had happened in 1965, when rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to switch to a copper-nickel composition. The modern dime was now composed of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Although this change made the coin less expensive to produce, it didn't make it any less iconic. Millions of people used these 1974 dimes every day, without realizing that some of them were special. The 1974 Roosevelt Dime was struck at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, the Denver coins bore a small D, and the San Francisco coins featured an S, which marked proof coins made especially for collectors. Proof coins from San Francisco were struck multiple times with polished dies, creating mirror-like surfaces and sharp details that glimmer beautifully under light. These are among the most stunning examples of the 1974 dime you'll ever see. However, what makes the 1974 dime so interesting to collectors today are the rare minting errors and unique varieties that occurred during production. Some of the most remarkable errors include off-center strikes, where parts of the design are missing or shifted, and double die strikes, where the design elements appear doubled. Both types of errors are rare and can dramatically increase a coin's value. One of the most fascinating stories about the 1974 dime involves coins that were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets, like leftover silver blanks or even foreign coin stock. When these errors occur, they create extremely rare coins that collectors will pay huge sums for. Imagine finding a dime in your pocket that looks just a little different, perhaps a slightly off color, a lighter weight, or a faint doubling in the letters. That tiny difference could mean you're holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. The condition of the coin also plays a major role in its value. A 1974 Roosevelt dime in mint state condition, shiny, untarnished, and perfectly struck, can be worth far more than one that's been circulated and worn down. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC examine coins under magnification to determine their exact condition. A high grade, such as MS67 or MS68, makes a huge difference in value, especially if the coin also has a rare error. Collectors love the 1974 Roosevelt dime not just for its beauty, but because it represents an important era in U.S. minting. The 1970s were years of transition, and even small coins from this decade tell the story of America's growth and technological evolution. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its connection to Roosevelt's legacy. He wasn't just a president, he was a symbol of hope and perseverance, especially through his fight against polio and his leadership during tough times. Every time someone held a dime in the years after his death, they were reminded of his strength and the values he stood for. That emotional connection gives the coin more meaning than its face value ever could. The Roosevelt dime has always been a coin of both simplicity and elegance. Its balanced design and patriotic symbolism make it one of the most beloved American coins ever produced. Even though millions of 1974 dimes were minted, only a handful stand out due to their exceptional preservation or rare minting errors. Those are the coins that become treasures in collectors' hands. It's amazing to think that a coin worth just 10 cents could turn into something worth thousands, all because of a small imperfection or an extraordinary level of quality. Coin enthusiasts around the world still search for these hidden gems, carefully inspecting every 1974 dime they find, hoping to discover the next big rarity. The thrill of the hunt is part of what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby. Every coin tells a story, and every discovery feels like finding a tiny piece of history. The 1974 Roosevelt dime reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. It may be small, but it carries a big story, from the vision of Roosevelt to the artistry of its design and the mystery of its minting. So, before you spend your next dime, take a closer look. You never know what secrets it might be hiding. Among the rarest examples ever found, a 1974 Roosevelt dime with a unique minting error in pristine condition was sold for an astonishing price of $113,000. If you have a 1974 Roosevelt dime, share its details in the comments below. Your coin might be worth more than you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment about your own coins so we can tell you their value, and make sure to like this video to keep these amazing coin stories shining bright. Top 2. In 1987, America was buzzing with change, energy, and innovation. It was the decade of new technology, bold ideas, and an economy that was beginning to boom again. But while the world was racing toward the future, a small, humble coin quietly carried on a legacy that began decades earlier, the Roosevelt I dime. This 1987 dime may look like just another piece of everyday change, but hidden among them are rare examples worth far more than their face value. The Roosevelt dime has always represented more than just 10 cents. It stands as a tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, whose leadership guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. His dedication to public service, and especially his efforts to fight polio through the March of Dimes campaign, made his portrait the perfect symbol for this coin. When the dime first appeared in 1946, it was a heartfelt tribute to a beloved leader. Designed by chief engraver John R. Sinek, the coin featured Roosevelt's dignified profile on the front, a symbol of courage and determination. His initials, J.S., can still be seen at the base of his neck. The reverse design is simple yet powerful, a torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. These symbols come together under the famous motto, E pluribus unum, which means, out of many, one. It's a perfect reflection of American unity and resilience. By the time 1987 arrived, the Roosevelt dime had already gone through several changes. Gone were the days of 90% silver coins. Since 1965, dimes have been made with a copper core coated in nickel, giving them that familiar silvery look while keeping production costs low. In 1987, millions of these dimes were minted across 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Philadelphia bore no mint mark, the Denver versions carried a small D, and the San Francisco mint struck proof coins with an S. Proof coins were specially made for collectors. They were struck multiple times with polished dies to give them that deep, mirror-like finish and razor-sharp details. They're not meant for circulation, which makes them especially desirable in pristine condition, but as collectors know, not every coin is identical. Even among millions of minted dimes, some carry subtle variations, minting errors, and unique characteristics that make them stand out. These are the coins that tell stories and hold hidden value. The 1987 Roosevelt dime is particularly interesting because of its rare error varieties. A few examples were struck off-center, where the design is noticeably shifted. Others feature doubled letters or numbers, where the engraving was misaligned just enough to catch a sharp eye. Collectors go wild for these kinds of errors. What might look like a small mistake to most people can make a coin worth thousands of dollars to those who understand its rarity. imagine finding a dime where the Liberty looks slightly doubled or where Roosevelt's face seems faintly shadowed by a second outline. Those minute imperfections turn an everyday dime into a valuable treasure. Condition also plays a massive role. A 1987 Roosevelt dime in flawless mint state condition, especially one graded MS-67 or higher, can command impressive prices among collectors. The cleaner and sharper the details, the higher the coin's potential value. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, when found sealed and untarnished in their original sets, can also be worth significantly more than face value. Their brilliance and craftsmanship are stunning to behold, but what truly fuels the fascination for this coin isn't just its value, it's its place in American history. The 1987 dime carries forward a legacy that began 4 decades earlier, reminding us of Roosevelt's courage and leadership. It's also a snapshot of the late 1980s, a time when the U.S. Mint was perfecting modern coin production while still maintaining a connection to the country's rich numismatic heritage. Collectors love to study the 1987 dime because it represents a perfect blend of tradition and technology. Each tiny detail, from Roosevelt's expression to the crisp lettering, reflects precision and pride in American minting. What's even more fascinating is that coins from 1987 are now approaching vintage status. While they're not yet ancient, they've been circulating for nearly 4 decades, which means finding one in perfect condition is becoming increasingly rare. Sometimes, rare coins aren't the oldest ones, but rather those that survived the years untouched, bright, lustrous, and uncirculated, as if they were just struck yesterday. And when you hold a coin like that, you're not just holding money, you're holding a piece of history, a link to the era that shaped modern America. Many coin collectors began their journey with simple coins like the Roosevelt dime. It's small, affordable, and full of character, a perfect reminder that great treasures often come in the smallest packages. Each dime has passed through countless hands, bought countless things, and traveled countless miles. And yet, somewhere among all those coins, a few exceptional ones have become silent legends in the world of numismatics. The 1987 dime teaches us to look closely, to appreciate the tiny works of art that pass through our fingers every day. You never know when a dime could turn out to be something extraordinary. So next time you receive a dime in your change, take a closer look. Check the date, inspect the details, and who knows, you might just have a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Collectors across the world continue to hunt for these special pieces, and every now and then, a new discovery surprises everyone with its incredible worth. Among the most prized examples, a 1987 Roosevelt dime with a rare minting error and perfect preservation was once sold for the unbelievable amount of $81,000. If you have a 1987 Roosevelt dime, share its details in the comments below. Your coin might be more valuable than you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment about your own coins so we can tell you their value, and like this video to keep these fascinating coin stories shining bright. Top 3. In 1991, the United States was stepping confidently into a new decade. Technology was growing fast, the economy was strong, and a fresh sense of optimism filled the air. Yet, even in those changing times, one tiny piece of American history continued to circulate quietly through the nation's hands: the Roosevelt dime. This small silver-colored coin, though often overlooked, carried a story that connected generations, and in rare cases, its value went far beyond 10 cents. The Roosevelt dime has long been more than just pocket change. It's a tribute to one of America's greatest leaders, Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and his tireless fight against polio, inspired the nation to honor him in a way that would last forever. The dime was first issued in 1946, just a year after Roosevelt's passing. Designed by chief engraver John R. Sinek, it featured Roosevelt's strong, determined profile on the obverse, symbolizing courage and progress. His initials, J.S., can still be found near the neckline of the portrait, a subtle mark of the artist's craftsmanship. On the reverse side, the design speaks in symbols rather than words. A flaming torch stands tall in the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Together, they capture the heart of Roosevelt's vision for America, a nation that stands strong but always seeks peace. By the time the 1991 Roosevelt dime was minted, the coin had been in circulation for over 4 decades. It had seen many changes in American life, but the design itself remained timeless, continuing to represent the values it was born from. The 1991 dimes were struck at three major U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins had no mint mark, Denver coins carried a small D, and San Francisco produced special S-proof coins for collectors. Each mint location had its own charm. Philadelphia coins were the most common, made for everyday circulation. Denver coins were also widespread but often struck with excellent precision. The San Francisco proofs, however, were something special. Crafted with polished dies, they gleamed with mirror-like perfection. Collectors today seek these proof coins for their striking beauty and flawless finish. When held under light, the contrast between their frosted design and glossy background looks absolutely stunning. But even among the millions of 1991 Roosevelt dimes produced, there are some that stand out. Rare minting errors and unusual varieties have turned certain examples into treasures worth thousands of dollars. Some 1991 dimes were struck slightly off-center, creating a distinctive shift in the design that collectors prize highly. Others display doubling on the lettering or numbers, an eye-catching minting mistake that adds incredible value. There have even been reports of dimes struck on the wrong metal planchets, giving them unusual weight and color. These rare errors are among the most sought after by coin enthusiasts around the world. Condition also plays a key role in determining value. A 1991 dime in pristine mint state condition, especially one graded MS67 or higher, can fetch impressive prices. The sharper the details and the brighter the luster, the greater its worth to collectors. Proof coins, especially those from the San Francisco Mint that have never been handled or tarnished, are also extremely desirable. These coins are like miniature works of art, carefully struck to perfection. What makes the 1991 Roosevelt dime especially fascinating is that it represents a transitional era. The 1990s marked the beginning of modern minting precision, but a few imperfections still slipped through. Those imperfections are exactly what make some coins from this year so valuable today. Each dime minted that year carries more than just Roosevelt's image, it carries decades of American history and the story of a nation constantly evolving. The Roosevelt dime is small but powerful in meaning. It honors a man who overcame hardship and led his country through one of its darkest times. It also reminds us that even the smallest things can carry enormous significance. Think about how many times this dime changed hands since 1991, used in stores, saved in jars, or dropped into wishing fountains. Somewhere out there, one of those dimes could be a hidden treasure. That's the magic of coin collecting. It turns something ordinary into something extraordinary, transforming a simple coin into a valuable piece of history. Collectors around the world constantly search for these special coins, studying tiny details, checking mint marks, and hoping to find that one rare variety that stands out among the rest. That it's not just about money, it's about discovery, curiosity, and the thrill of uncovering something remarkable. Every collector knows that feeling when they spot a coin that looks just a little different, and their heart races with excitement. The 1991 Roosevelt dime continues to inspire that same sense of wonder. It's a reminder that history isn't just found in books or museums, it can be hiding right in your pocket. Even though millions of 1991 dimes were made, only a few carry the kind of rarity and condition that make them truly valuable. Those are the coins that command attention at auctions and among passionate collectors. It's incredible to think that a 10-cent coin could one day be worth thousands of dollars simply because of a small error or exceptional preservation. So next time you come across a 1991 dime, take a closer look. Check for the mint mark, study the details, and don't overlook any unusual features. It might just surprise you. Hidden treasures like these are what keep the world of coin collecting alive and exciting. They remind us that value can come from the most unexpected places. Among the most extraordinary examples ever discovered, a 1991 Roosevelt dime with a rare minting error and perfect preservation was sold for an astonishing amount of $77,000. If you have a 1991 Roosevelt dime, share its details in the comments below. Your coin might be worth more than you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment about your own coins so we can tell you their value, and like this video to keep these amazing coin stories shining bright. Top 4. The year 2007 was one of change and progress in the United States. Technology was rapidly advancing, the economy was thriving, and digital culture was reshaping everyday life. Yet, even in such a fast-paced world, one small, familiar coin quietly continued its journey through the hands of millions, the Roosevelt Dime. This tiny piece of American history carried not only value but also a legacy stretching back more than 6 decades. The Roosevelt dime has always been more than just 10 cents. It stands as a tribute to one of America's most beloved presidents, Franklin D. Roosevelt. His courage, leadership, and compassion guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, leaving behind a legacy that still inspires generations today. After Roosevelt's passing in 1945, the U.S. Mint sought a way to honor his remarkable service to the nation. In 1946, the Roosevelt dime was born, replacing the Mercury dime and becoming an instant symbol of hope, progress, and resilience. The design, created by chief engraver John R. Sinek, captured Roosevelt's strong, determined profile on the obverse side, accompanied by the inscriptions, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust." These simple words reflected the values Roosevelt himself stood for. The reverse of the coin featured a striking trio of symbols, a torch representing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch for strength. Together, they told the story of a nation built on freedom, unity, and perseverance. By 2007, the Roosevelt dime had become a familiar friend in American pockets. Its design had remained unchanged for over 60 years, yet it still carried a timeless beauty that collectors and everyday citizens admired. In that year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of dimes across 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark, Denver coins carried a D, and San Francisco coins featured the S mint mark, reserved for proof coins made especially for collectors. Each mint produced coins with its own distinct style. Philadelphia and Denver focused on circulation coins, the ones you'd find in your change every day, while San Francisco specialized in stunning proof coins with mirror-like finishes. Proof coins were struck multiple times with polished dies, giving them an incredible shine and crisp detail that made them miniature masterpieces. These coins were never meant for everyday use, they were designed for those who loved collecting and preserving America's history. The 2007 Roosevelt dime, though common in circulation, holds hidden treasures for those who look closely. Some of these coins were struck with unique minting errors or rare variations that make them extremely valuable to collectors today. Among these errors are off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, and double die errors, where the letters or numbers appear faintly doubled. Both of these can dramatically increase a coin's worth. Another exciting discovery involves dimes struck on the wrong metal planchets, leftover blanks from other coins that were accidentally used in the press. These unusual mistakes are rare, and when found, they can be worth thousands of dollars. Collectors often inspect 2007 dimes under magnification, searching for the tiniest details that might separate an ordinary coin from a remarkable one. Sometimes it's the sharpness of the strike, sometimes it's the shine, and sometimes, it's an unnoticed flaw that changes everything. Condition plays a huge role in determining value. A 2007 dime that has been kept in mint state condition, untouched, brilliant, and free from scratches, can be worth far more than one that's been circulated for years. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC examine each coin carefully and assign a grade. Coins that reach grades like MS68 or higher are considered elite, and their values can climb steeply in the collector market. Proof coins, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, are also prized by enthusiasts who appreciate perfection. Their reflective surfaces and flawless strikes make them some of the most beautiful examples of modern coinage. But beyond the money, what makes the 2007 Roosevelt dime so captivating is its symbolism. It's a reminder of Roosevelt's fight against adversity and his vision for a better America, values that still resonate with people today. That it's also a coin that connects the past and present. Even though the world had changed dramatically by 2007, the Roosevelt dime remained a familiar constant, a quiet reminder of history in the palm of your hand. Every dime carries a story, and the 2007 edition is no different. Each one passed through countless pockets, made small transactions, or was saved in jars and drawers, each telling its own silent tale of American life. Some collectors even consider this coin symbolic of endurance. For over half a century, the Roosevelt dime has remained one of the most stable and respected designs in U.S. coinage. The 2007 dimes are also special because they represent a period of exceptional minting quality. Advances in technology made the coins sharper and more consistent than ever before, while still preserving the classic design that collectors cherish. Yet, even with those improvements, minting errors and rare variations still manage to occur, making those few coins even more fascinating to study and collect. That it's this perfect balance between perfection and imperfection that makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when an ordinary-looking dime might actually be a hidden gem. Many collectors still check their pocket change today, hoping to spot that one special 2007 dime with unique characteristics that could make it worth a fortune. After all, it's not just about owning something rare, it's about the thrill of discovery and the joy of uncovering a small piece of American history. The Roosevelt dime is a coin that continues to inspire curiosity, passion, and pride. Whether from 1946 or 2007, it reminds us that greatness can come in even the smallest forms. Among the rarest examples ever found, a 2007 Roosevelt dime with a stunning minting error and preserved in flawless condition was once sold for an incredible amount of $51,000. That if you have a 2007 Roosevelt dime, share its details in the comments below. Your coin might be worth more than you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment about your own coins so we can tell you their value, and like this video to keep these amazing coin stories shining bright. Top 5. In 2018, the world of coin collecting was as vibrant as ever, and even the smallest coins carried stories worth telling. One of those coins was the United States of America Roosevelt dime, a coin so ordinary at first glance, yet so extraordinary in meaning and value. Though it's often overlooked in everyday life, the 2018 Roosevelt dime hides secrets that have made collectors look twice. The Roosevelt dime isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of American strength and determination. It represents a man who led the nation through some of its toughest times, Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His courage during the Great Depression and World War II earned him an enduring place on American coinage. After Roosevelt's passing in 1945, the U.S. Mint decided to honor him in a way that would last forever. In 1946, the Roosevelt dime was introduced, replacing the Mercury dime, and its design has remained nearly unchanged ever since. The design was created by chief engraver John R. Sinek, who captured Roosevelt's calm but determined profile on the obverse side. The simple word "Liberty" rests to his left, while "In God We Trust" sits proudly below his chin, symbolizing faith and leadership. Turn the coin over, and the reverse side carries deep symbolism too. A torch stands in the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. These three elements perfectly describe both Roosevelt's spirit and the American ideal. By the time the 2018 Roosevelt dime was minted, the design had already been in circulation for more than 70 years. Yet, even after all that time, it still looked as modern and meaningful as ever. In 2018, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these dimes across 3 facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint added its own touch, marked by the familiar letters P, D, or S on the coin's surface. Philadelphia and Denver produce circulation coins, the ones people use every day in stores and vending machines. But San Francisco, as always, struck special proof coins for collectors, coins that shimmered with mirror-like brilliance. These proof coins were carefully crafted using polished dies, making their surfaces glossy and their details sharp. They're not made for circulation but rather for those who appreciate the art and precision of coin minting. What makes the 2018 Roosevelt dime so fascinating is not just its beauty, but the rare variations and minting errors that appeared that year. These rare coins can be worth thousands of dollars to collectors who recognize their unique features. Among these are off-center strikes, where parts of the design are missing, and double die errors, where letters or numbers appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during minting. There are also dimes that were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets, making them weigh differently or appear with unusual coloration. These kinds of minting mistakes are extremely rare, but when discovered, they can transform an ordinary dime into a valuable treasure. Collectors love the challenge of finding these rare varieties. They spend hours inspecting coins under magnification, searching for even the smallest details that might reveal a hidden gem. The condition of a coin also plays a huge role in its value. A 2018 dime that's been kept in perfect mint state, untouched and shining just as it did when it left the press, can be worth far more than a coin that's been in circulation. Coins are graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC, which assign a grade based on condition and strike quality. Coins that reach grades like MS68 or MS69 are considered exceptional and often attract high bids from serious collectors. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, when still sealed in their original packaging, are also highly sought after. Their reflective surfaces and stunning detail make them miniature masterpieces of modern coin design, but beyond their monetary worth, these coins tell a story. The Roosevelt Dime connects the modern world to a historic legacy, a time when courage, hope, and unity defined a nation. Every dime minted carries Roosevelt's spirit forward, reminding Americans of a leader who refused to give up even in the darkest days. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of perseverance. Even though the 2018 dime may seem like just another coin in your pocket, some of them hold incredible secrets, errors, varieties, and conditions that make them treasures in disguise, and that's what makes coin collecting so magical. It's not just about money, it's about discovery, curiosity, and the thrill of realizing that something small can hold so much meaning. Many collectors still keep an eye out for the 2018 Roosevelt Dime, especially those that stand out due to sharp detail, bright luster, or unusual features. Every discovery feels like uncovering a tiny piece of American history. It's incredible to think that a simple coin minted just a few years ago could already be considered collectible. That's the beauty of numismatics. It connects the past, present, and future in the palm of your hand. Some collectors have even reported finding 2018 dimes with unusual color tones or striking errors that make them completely unique. Each of these discoveries adds excitement to the world of modern coin collecting. While most people pass by these dimes without a second thought, collectors know that every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth far more than their face value. It's a reminder to always look closely at the change you receive. Sometimes, a small coin can carry a big surprise. The 2018 Roosevelt Dime is one of those coins that prove even modern coins can hold extraordinary value if you know what to look for. Among the rarest examples ever found, a 2018 Roosevelt Dime with a unique minting error in perfect condition was sold for an astonishing amount of $22,000. If you have a 2018 Roosevelt Dime, share its details in the comments below. Your coin might be worth more than you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment about your own coins so we can tell you their value, and like this video to keep these amazing coin stories shining bright.